What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Meditations. So is anyone else sick of this bullshit? All that woke, progressive garbage? How are they trying to get the boys to cut off their you-know-whats? And the little girls to shave off their you-know-whats? They put them on the pills, they put them on the medicine, they put them on the rubbies and all that. Anyone else tired of this whole borderless bullshit too? And all that, what we get from third wave feminism or whatever? Anyone else tired of this shit? Well, you know what, man? I've been thinking. So, I was raised Christian because of my mother. All right, my father, I don't think he really believed in any of that stuff. I've touched on that in my last video, but beyond that, boys are impressionable when it comes to their mom, you know? So who is my mom? Well, I mean, I think she was a pretty good mother. She's loving, nurturing, but I think she did put a few things above that with her child, like her pride. I remember how easily she was embarrassed and maybe even almost getting disowned by her once or twice. Just when I was a kid, you know? And a teenager, especially. But did my mom give me good advice and did she speak truth to me? It's kind of the question here, right? She's the one who raised me up into Christianity. Remember the earliest days. Oh, Ice Boy. Yeah, God. There's a God out there. He loves you. Jesus, this and that. Forgives you of all your sins. I mean, it sounds good. And I'm not entirely doubting that. But I have something to share with you guys. And I think it's something that maybe we can all kind of find common ground in. I mean, let's be honest. Most of us are just agnostics, right? We don't know what the fuck's out there. Many of us are self-proclaimed atheists. Some of us are wishful thinkers. Oh, yeah, there's God or something. Many of us are, oh, yeah, we derive from slime just hitting a rock. But I mean, point being, what I'm about to propose to you, I think will bring us all together, if you will. But nonetheless, my mom, she might have given me some bad advices. Like, I remember how adamant she was on never to lie, right? And I still believe that. I don't like lying. I mean, I rarely ever lie. I only lie if I fucking have to. I really don't like doing it. I can't remember the last time I lied. I mean, it's been a long fucking time. Even to my wives. You know, I'm usually pretty honest with them. And I mean, in some cases, it might be to my detriment. But my mom ingrained it into me. Don't lie, Ice Boy. But what did my mom do? Well, I caught her lying to me a couple times. And that was heartbreaking. Over something stupid even. I mean, I can't remember the examples, but I do recall her lying to me about some shit when I was growing up, right? A little boy. She was like, oh, okay. So she tells me not to lie, but she lies. Like, what the heck's going on here? That was like world breaking for me. I was like, because I was really adamant never to lie. And when I saw her lie, I was like, fuck. It's like, I guess it's okay to lie sometimes. Because my mom doesn't. But it still is in me to just, I try not to fucking lie. I mean, I don't like doing it. I mean, you start digging yourself holes, you start twisting shit together, and, you know, you can't remember what you lied about, and it's a pain in the ass. The truth will set you free, man. ironically speaking. Words of Jesus, right? But I remember my mom also taught me, another wrong advice she gave me was how to get the women. Oh, I boy, you got to be really nice to them. Oh, I boy, you got to give them flowers. Oh, I boy, you got to be a real sweet thing to them. And we all know how that works out. So I learned quickly as a teenager. Of course, I did that with a girl. Obviously, she dumped me. And I was like, what the fuck did I just do? I was just doing everything my mom told me to. And obviously, this girl just wants a bad boy. Let me for some bad boy, to my memory. I don't know why. I was tall as I was 6'3", 6'4", you know? Nice muscle and all that, but she still left me for a bad boy. And he was ugly. It's like, what the hell's going on here? So I started to figure it out quick. I was like, oh, girls don't like that. They don't like the nice guy who brings them flowers. They like bad boys. They're like alphas, you know? It's just true. So why would my mom tell me otherwise? And what's interesting is, what did my mom pick? Well, was my dad a nice boy who brought her flowers and shit? No, of course not. And did she stick with him for the rest of her life? Yes. They're still together. And I don't know, they was in their 60s. So something's not adding up here. You see what I'm saying? So how much can I really take her word for, oh, I spoiled Jesus and God? I mean, we're all raised in different things, you know? And you're just kind of wondering, well, what about all the little kids who are across the world or whatever? Are they just burning in hell for eternity? Then I started looking into that. I was like, oh, wait a second. This is interesting. Even according to the Bible, yeah, what happens to people who don't claim Jesus or whatever? Who don't say the magic words real quick? Well, interestingly enough, I found that it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that you can't receive Jesus after you die. It's just everybody just acts like that's how it is. Isn't that weird? They do that to fit the narrative that you got to say the magic words before you die. Otherwise, you're burned in hell forever. And some loving God created all these concepts, and that's just how it is. It really doesn't make any sense, does it? When it starts making sense after you start adding things up. Oh, wait a second. It says in the Bible, everyone who calls upon my name will be saved. Words of Jesus Christ, right? It also says, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that I am Lord. So if every tongue confesses, this is on the resurrection of the alive and the dead. And if anyone who confesses is saved, then it seems like this stuff kind of adds up, right? Starting to sound like there might be a happy ending here. But I tell you what, most of those Christians out there, they sure as hell don't want to hear that. No. They'll take it to the grave with them that you're going to burn in hell for all fucking eternity if you don't do what they tell you to do. Isn't that crazy? Their representation of God. So it kind of makes me think, like, okay, let's trace back to the beginning of this video. Aren't we tired of this woke bullshit? What's the antidote? Let's think about it. Oh, wait. That's right. There's across the fucking ocean. There's this other idea of God. You see what I'm saying? You remember the one where the media kind of went on about? I mean, I was wondering, like, what the hell is this all about? During the September 11 and all that. Kind of gave us a different view, right? Maybe a sort of warped perspective. I don't know. Or maybe it's a justifiable perspective on what this religion is. But I mean, nonetheless, it seems like it'll be tolerant as long as everybody fucking agrees with it. Then I start to wonder, what are we agreeing to? Like, they don't like the woke bullshit. They're against all the woke bullshit. You know, you have folks in Europe and all that. Like, don't they got a bunch of influx of them from that religion? And you see it on the news, like all these folks are just complaining, screaming about it, like, oh my God, our civilization's getting destroyed. I mean, to some extent, maybe they're right. It's getting changed is what it's doing. You get these chicks that are like, I can't go to the club. I can't go shake my ass at the club in my little skimpy dress. I can't walk there at night anymore. Because there's all these guys in the streets from this religion afar. You know what I mean? It seems like there's power. I mean, do you dare get on the internet and speak heinous things against that religion? Let me know in the comments. Do you dare? Do you dare post a video of yourself going on and on about how, you know, all the things wrong with that religion or whatever? Do you dare get down to the nitty gritty? Well, a lot of these woke fucking idiots who kind of utilized it as a Trojan horse accidentally, perhaps, where they're like, oh, let's destabilize the Middle East through decades of war, and let's get all these folks shipped over here, and let's see how well this religion integrates with our moralless society. You know what I'm saying? Wow. It almost seems like that might be the antidote to wokeism. It's the antidote to all this progressive, let's cut off your boys, you know what's bullshit. And they start looking into it like, huh, that's weird. You know, in the United States, most of the folks from that religion, more so, it's actually, that's not true, but you know, when they had the presidential election this past year in 2024, you remember Kamala, and then there's Trump. The folks from this religion, like from Dearborn, Michigan specifically, especially is a great example, because I'm from Michigan. They voted to Trump. Twice as many of them voted for Trump than who voted for Kamala. Look it up. Oh, man. Because they're tired of this woke fucking bullshit. And there's power in it. Like I said, who dare speak against it, you know? I mean, some folks do, and I actually did a couple times in private circles in front of a bunch of woke folks who are my fucking family. Of course, I get shot down for it. And I said, like, oh, well, they do this and that. And they're like, oh, well, you're bad for criticizing it. So I'm starting to wonder, why am I sticking my neck out here, you know? And then I start connecting the dots. I'm like, wait a second. So these woke idiots are defending this religion that totally goes against their moralist civilization that they've established. And I'm sitting here trying to speak against it? And I start to wonder, why the fuck would I stick my neck out for that? Let's think about it. So I am a guy. All right. I don't have any tattoos. Never liked tattoos, especially on women, but never liked tattoos for many different reasons. I'm not going to go about them in this video. Interestingly enough, tattoos are forbidden by this religion. It's like, okay. Then I'm like, well, whoa. I'm like, wait a second. I'm a white guy, right? I don't know how I'm from, like Germany and Ireland or some shit, you know, places over there. And I'm like, wait a second. That doesn't work, right? Because all the folks in there, they're not white dudes. And I'm like, well, wait a second. I look into it. I'm like, what percentage of Americans are from that religion over there? And I'm like, wow, like there's like 20%, and it's growing. I'm like, okay, so I guess you can be a white guy, and you can be from any fucking race. You know what I'm saying? And you can be a part of this religion. So I'm like, okay, so that's not a limiting factor either. I don't like fucking tattoos. I'm not separate of it because of the color of my fucking skin. I guess, you know, I still am green lit for this whole thing. Like, I was like, well, why wouldn't I? And I'm like, well, it's because my mommy told me that the Christian thing is the way to go. I'm like, well, how do I know? Where the hell is Jesus? You know, like you could sit here. Jesus, let's hear from you now. Silence. You know, I'm not trying to be funny here. Well, not really. But maybe just a little, because it is kind of funny. Like, why are we so adamant to believe that? Because our mommies taught us that. I mean, where the hell is Jesus? What if he's still dead? You see what I'm saying? I mean, there's kind of a parallel, like we pray to God, right? And maybe we're all praying to the same God. Maybe God has mercy on those who get his name wrong. But yeah, what I'm saying is, I mean, maybe that's what the world needs. It's the fastest growing religion. As long as everybody fucking agrees with it, apparently it's okay. Like I said, there's a lot of parallels. Well, here's the thing. Let's go back to what do I get out of it? It's like, okay, so if you're a straight guy, regardless of your race, you could be green-lit in. And why the fuck would you defend anything? Why would you speak against it? It's like, well, what's the end game, right? That's what we really want to know is what's the end game? Just like a fucking video game. We all want to know, okay, well, I get it. Going through the storyline and all that is okay, but what's the end game? Because that's what we get to play forever. And I consider it. Like, okay, the end game for this religion is you get to live forever. You get a bunch of wives, and your you-know-what is eternally erect. I'm like, and you get servants in a big-ass mansion, to my understanding. Like, is this, like, what am I criticizing again? You know? I remember this brainwashed broad, years and years ago. I kind of said something like, oh, yeah, well, you got to wear a burqa in that religion. And she corrected me, right? She was like, oh, it's not a burqa, it's a hijab, or something like that. And this is some woke chick, right? Who's all drinks, tattoos, all this other detestable shit to God. And I'm like, ooh, okay, I got put in my place by this woman who's fully into the progressive bullshit. And it kind of makes me wonder. I was like, well, how should I have responded to that? I'm like, oh, here's how I could respond. I was like, well, it is the fastest growing religion in the world. And the interesting thing is whether or not I pronounce this thing right or not isn't going to take away from the fact that you're going to put that shit on and you're going to keep your fucking mouth shut and you're not going to talk over me. You see what I'm saying? You see what these fucking idiots are kind of officiating here? But like I said, it's a good deal for guys. So why the fuck would we have anything against it? I mean, I'm curious what you guys have to say in the comments below. Okay, so what are the negative effects? Well, the chicks don't dress all skimpy and walk to the club and get drunk every fucking night. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Let me know in the comments. That's just the beginning. You know, also you can't get talked over by one like what I did, you know, because I don't know, I could probably be punishable by all sorts of things if they try to speak over a man or correct them. So these fucking retards, what they brought onto themselves. Because here I am, you know, thinking, oh, Christianity, yeah, what a nice thing. But I mean, look what's happened. I mean, some say that Christianity is weak. And it's not really to say that Jesus isn't the center of all this. Maybe he is. And even in their book, in that other religion, they do bring up Jesus. Apparently he's divine. Apparently he turns mud into a bird or something. He makes a bird out of mud. Apparently he fights the bad guy in the end. He fights the bad guy in the end. So, I mean, it's a good thing, right? But I don't think that they pray to him or pray through him or whatever. They don't really think that you can only get salvation through him or whatever. But I mean, whatever. These are minuscule points, right? Like, I assume in the end of all this bullshit, we're going to see what's what, you know? At the end of this, there's going to be a light or something, and we're going to be like, oh, fuck, I was wrong. My bad. Have mercy, Most High God. You know, and then whatever his name is, if it's Jesus or not, or if Jesus is standing there, I'm still going to be like, oh, shit. Like, okay, hey, can you have mercy on me? What's your name, by the way? You see, I mean, I assume that's kind of how it's going to be. Like on paper, you know, I mean, maybe it's a slow awakening to all this, where there's not going to ever be a distinct, oh shit, here's the light. Oh shit, here's the magic words I got to say real quick. Oh shit, here's the mercy of God, hopefully. You know, maybe that's not what it looks like at all. In fact, strangely enough, coinciding with the Bible even, Jesus even says, the kingdom of heaven isn't something that you'll look upon and say, aha, here it is. Aha, I found it. You see what I'm saying? This might be a slow fucking awakening here, where we're never like, oh, there's God. I don't really know. But I mean, I guess the counter to that would be we're going to be face to face with Jesus or something. I mean, fuck. You know, I don't want to go too deep into this stuff, but because I was about to. But I don't need to open up those other cans, all right? I want to keep this video kind of short. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, is this other religion the antidote to all this woke, progressive, fucking civilization-destroying bullshit? I mean, it seems like, objectively speaking, it kind of is. Now, what kind of a world is it going to make if it keeps taking over or whatever? I don't really know. Some say that all the war-tornness over there is just a bunch of fake Federal Reserve money filtering the military-industrial complex, just these endless wars, just some bigger scheme that's perpetrated by maybe the synagogue of Satan or something. I don't know. Look into it. But look into Revelation 3:9 and 2:9. But who really knows? I mean, hell, like I said, what do I got to lose? I mean, it seems like I got a bunch of shit to gain. And what's the end game for Christianity? Well, we don't really know. We just know there's new heaven, new earth. That's that. I mean, Jesus said there's no marriage. Are you kidding me? I don't get to have a bunch of wives. That's bullshit. Unless if it could mean something else. He did only say that when he was pressed too. When they said, well, who gets so-and-so's wife if they all die and they're all married to her? Who gets to marry her in heaven then? So that's what he answered. There's no marriage. I mean, maybe Adam and Eve weren't married. You know what I'm saying? And they were still, you know, having a good time, if you know what I mean. So that might not be indicative that there is no sexual heights and all that. You know, there is no ascending and those sort of things. But I don't know. It is more clear in the other one. And like I said, it doesn't really sound like a bad deal. In fact, it sounds like a really good fucking deal. So what do you guys have to say about that? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll explore this topic a bit more if you guys are interested. And let me know your thoughts on it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace be with you.